Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Jeff here at Beyond Freedom Family. Gorgeous Sunday afternoon here in New Hampshire. I'm standing here in front of, part of our garden that's got a ton of beautiful black-eyed Susies, I think is what they're called, growing amongst many other things growing. I think we got a beautiful gladiola right there, the purple one. But, I spent some time today at the beach lake right near our house with my family, and it was a beautiful, beautiful day, afternoon after the clouds left and sun came out, got warm. And we first got to the beach, there were a couple of monarch butterflies that were flitting around and landing on the beach. And shortly after I sat down, after being in the water, came out, sat out in the sun for a few minutes, and all of a sudden it was like, hey, you got a monarch butterfly visiting with you. I'm like, where? It was actually on my leg, kind of crawling around my leg, and then it took off and it flew further away, and then it came back, and apparently it was on my shoulder. I didn't even know it was on my shoulder, but I had this really cool monarch butterfly visiting me twice at the beach, and then once it left my shoulder, it took off across the lake. But I was thinking of a story. I remember, I think it was Dr. Phil McGraw. I think it was, he was telling a story. I think it was one time he was in Hawaii, and he was out by the beach, and he had this incredible visit with a monarch butterfly, and this monarch butterfly kept coming around, presenting itself to him kind of in a weird way, like, why is this thing like flitting around me? It just wouldn't seem to let go. And he later learned that shortly before that, a friend of his had passed, and it was his assumption that the butterfly itself was actually symbolic of his friend who was finding him. And that was his way of saying goodbye before he departed, before his energy departed. And I was thinking, as this monarch butterfly was landing on me and flitting around me, I wonder if this is someone that I know or knew. I wonder if perhaps some friend of mine that I haven't seen in a long time, perhaps they've recently passed and I didn't know. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it was just purely some type of random act of nature that this butterfly was landing on me and hanging around me. But I'm sure that if there was a connection, I'll find out about it. But I was absolutely in awe. When you look at a butterfly, I was thinking afterwards, like proportionally, like if I was a butterfly, like physically, if my body was the body of the butterfly, how big would my wings be? I think, man, they'd probably be as big as my house. Like, it's incredible to think that something so small like that has the strength to actually cause these massive wings that it have to push against air and lift itself effortlessly, or seemingly effortlessly, wherever it wants to go. And never mind flying all the way to Mexico like they do each year. But imagine if we as people, like if we had wings that were proportionate in size to a butterfly, how much physical strength that would take to, first of all, move the wings. Never mind taking into account any of the resistance of the air, never mind getting any type of loft in flying. It's really incredible. But perhaps we've been blessed with something else. Perhaps we've been blessed with the power of thought and the creative potential that we have, the ability to manifest things in our lives, the law of attraction, the use of our subconscious. Perhaps butterflies have unique gifts that we will never have. Obviously we can fly mechanically, but not physically fly. But perhaps we as humans have been blessed with a different intelligence that we're able to use in more constructive ways in our lives. So just something to think about. So beautiful day here in New Hampshire. I'm just really enjoying the garden here. I'm standing here next to the catalpa tree, which I showed you folks some blossoms a number of weeks ago. And the tree now actually has its first beans. So I guess it must truly be growing up, because this is the first that's ever produced them. But with that, it's a beautiful day here. I hope you've had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy the rest of the day. You absolutely deserve it. And we will see you tomorrow.